Hi guys, today I'm showing you how to make a Halloween wreath out of things you can get at the dollar store. First up, we need the wreath frame, and then we need these Halloween ornaments. I believe I picked up multiple of every single color option that they had. I think there may have been one that was black and white that I did not use for this video, but other than that, these were all the colors that they had. To make it more spooky, I added some orange and purple lights. In addition to these, we also have some purple sparkly pumpkins and some bats. To start off, I hot glue this tool-like material that I got at the dollar store onto the wreath frame. Since this wreath isn't using flowers, I can't move them around to fill in all of the holes or areas that you can see the base of the wreath frame, so I'm adding this mostly so that way there is a colored background in between the holes. As usual, I very tightly wrap it around the wreath frame since this will be where everything is attached to. Once that's all done, I start hot gluing on all of the ornaments. I have to admit that these were actually a lot harder to put on versus the flowers since they're round, and that makes it kind of hard to line up with the frame. I had no particular pattern that I was following since I already knew that I wasn't going to have enough of the ornaments to go around the entire wreath frame. I ended up just randomly placing them on, choosing the colors that I didn't put right next to each other. And you'll notice that there's a little bit of a jump there. I accidentally went out of camera when putting the pumpkins on the wreath frame, so you can kind of see them there on the outside. I'm using them to fill in the holes where I can't fit one of the ornaments. It was roughly about this point that I realized the gaps in between the ornaments was really big, so I pulled out these little leaves from flowers I got last year at Halloween and kind of just pushed them into the holes in between the ornaments. I felt like this gave it a little bit more of the wreath character and also filled in the holes. In any area that there was still a large gap, I used the bats to cover up. One thing that I didn't really anticipate was the bats didn't really like sticking because it's a glittery surface with some hot glue on a glittery surface, and the glitter just makes it pop off. One of the bats fell off and I had to go back and replace all of them with more hot glue. And the one is still loose. Time for the lights. This is the first time that I've put lights in a wreath, and I thought this would be really fun, especially since I had two colors. I didn't really know how to attach it, so I just hot glued it on. I'm not sure if this is completely safe since it is from the dollar store and the plastic may melt, but it worked fine this time, so might as well try it again in the future. I also did not think about the fact that these lights are from the dollar store and very short, so they only fit about halfway across the wreath. So the top half is orange and the bottom half is purple. Not exactly what I was envisioning, but it ended up okay. I'm not sure why, but the camera really liked the purple light and not the orange light that much. There actually is a similar amount of glow coming from both of them, but it just looks like the purple's taking over. Now for the dreaded bow. If you watched any of my wreath videos in the past where I made bows, you'll know that I'm not the greatest at it. I personally don't like large bows on wreaths, even though that seems to be the popular thing with these types of things. I prefer very small ones, And not to mention with this time in particular, I didn't have a lot to work with since I was at the end of my black and orange. So it ended up just being a little bit of a mess, but I actually liked it at the end. Because I ran out of materials, I ended up making this bow mostly just a big wad. I actually think that this works good with the Halloween theme, but normally I wouldn't suggest such a makeshift bow. When attaching this bow, rather than hot gluing it on, I left it with just the pipe cleaners so that way I could access the battery packs for the lights. And there goes the bat. Since I felt like the bow was still a little too boring, I grabbed these glittery stick things from last year at the dollar store. I don't know what they actually are called. I chopped them up and then just hot glued them to the inside of the bow to add some more spookiness to it. And somehow, without my knowledge, the paper plate that I put my hot glue gun just kinda slipped into view and never goes away. I don't know why I never checked in my camera view to see if you could see it, but there it is. Now, after my workspace is completely covered in glitter, I am finally satisfied with this wreath. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out my other videos. Bye!